Hi, welcome to today's show. It's going to be a good one. It's the best life stories of 2021, award-winning books for you to read this holiday season. Today's show comes to you thanks to the Structure Success video training that helps you come up with a rough outline for your own life story. It could be an autobiography, it could be a biography, a memoir, or something else. And I'll have information about this free video training at the end of the show. So please stay with me. And a quick note, it's the last days for 50% off the Your Family Story system, which helps you interview a loved one and record their life story, step by step. So stay with me to find out more. I'll have links in the show notes. If this is your first time to Forever Young Autobiographies, a big welcome. It's where we learn how to write life stories for family and friends so that unique memories can live on. And I'd be really blessed if you could follow, subscribe, like the show, even share it with a friend. So it's summertime here in Australia and you've got to have a good book when it's summer. You've probably got to have more than a few books. You've got to have at least a stack. I know I do. In my bedroom there on my dresser, I have a stack of books. They're all either informative and entertaining. And I thought I'd select just a few, just a little bit of a snapshot for the Forever Young Autobiographies Reading List 2021. Now, there's going to be books from Australia, of course, but we've got books from the United Kingdom, there's books from the USA, and they're all bestsellers and or award-winning books. So, I think this is going to be quite a good reference list for you now as you head into your holidays, but also throughout the year. Now, there's a few awards that have been postponed or delayed because of COVID, so I'll be adding some few extra books in there as 2022 progresses. So just keep checking back to this list because, there's going to be some extra special ones I can add in later. So let's get on with the show. I've got some notes here I'm going to refer to, but the first one I recommend is The Happiest Man on Earth. It's a Holocaust survivor shares how he found gratitude, kindness and hope in the darkest of places. It's by Jaku, Macmillan, Australia, and it's the Australian Book Industry's Awards 2021 Biography of the Year. Can't wait to read this book. So Eddie, he's always considered himself a German first, a Jew second, and he was proud of his country. But all of that changed in November 1938 when he was beaten, arrested and taken to a concentration camp. Over the next 7 years, Eddie faced unimaginable horrors every day. First in Buchenwald, then in Auschwitz, then on a Nazi death march. He lost family, friends, his country. Because he survived, Eddie made the vow to smile every day, and he pays tribute to those who were lost by telling his story, sharing his wisdom, and living his best possible life. Now he believes he is the happiest man on earth. And this book is published as Eddie turns 100. It's a powerful, heartbreaking, and ultimately hopeful memoir of how happiness can be found even in the darkest of times. Now, this is a really powerful read on so many levels. I can't wait to read this. And the fact that Eddie has done this when he's in his 90s and now 100, got to read this one. So that one again, The Happiest Man on Earth, Eddie Jaku. Second one up is also another Australian Book Industry's Award winner for 2021, but it's an audio book of the year. It's Tell Me Why, The Story of My Life and My Music by Archie, Roach, Simon & Schuster, Australia. So just reading the blurbs here, says, not many have lived as many lives as Archie Roach. Stolen child, seeker, teenage alcoholic, lover, father, musical and lyrical genius and leader. But it took him almost a lifetime to find out who he really was. Roach was only 2 years old when he was forcibly removed from his family. Brought up by a series of foster parents until his early teens, his world imploded when he received a letter that spoke of a life he had no memory of. In this intimate, moving and often shocking memoir, Archie's story is an extraordinary odyssey through love and heartbreak, family and community, survival and renewal, and the healing power of music. So Roach is well known here in Australia, and he's quite a figurehead, I suppose, about this being from the stolen generation. So I think it's really important that we learn more about this first-hand account here from Roach. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. So moving on, number 3. This is Diary of a Young Naturalist by Dara McAnulty, Little Trotter Books. It's the British Book Awards 2021 Non-Fiction Narrative Book of the Year. So the blurb reads, Diary of a Young Naturalist chronicles the turning of 15-year-old Dara's world. From spring and through a year in his home patch in Northern Ireland, Dara spent the season writing. These vivid, evocative and moving diary entries about his connection to wildlife and the way he sees the world are raw in their telling. Diary of a Young Naturalist portrays Dara's intense connection to the natural world and his perspective as a teenager juggling exams and friendships alongside a life of campaigning. Now the quote here was from Dara, I was diagnosed with Asperger's autism age 5. By age 7, I knew I was very different. I had got used to the isolation. My inability to break through into the world of talking about football or Minecraft was not tolerated. Then came the bullying. Nature became so much more than an escape. It became a life support system. Really interesting read, that one, doesn't it? And he's only 15 when he writes this, so going to be a real inspiration to read that one. So that was Diary of a Young Naturalist. Moving on, All That She Carried, The Journey of Ashley's Sack, A Black Family Keepsake by Tiya Miles, Penguin Random House. So the blurb reads, this is actually National Book Awards 2021 non-fiction winner. The description is, in 1950s South Carolina, an enslaved woman named Rose faces a crisis, the imminent sale of her daughter Ashley. Thinking quickly, she packed a cotton bag with a few precious items as a token of love and to try to ensure Ashley's survival. Soon after, the 9-year-old girl was separated from her mother and sold. Decades later, Ashley's granddaughter Ruth embroidered this family history on the bag in spare yet haunting language, including Rose's wish that it be filled with my love always. So Ruth's sewn words, the reason we remember Ashley's sack today, evoke a sweeping family story of loss and love passed down through generations. Now, in this illuminating, deeply moving book, inspired by Rose's gift to Ashley, historian Miles carefully unearths these women's faint presence in archival records to follow the paths of their lives and the lives of so many women like them, to write a singular and revelationary history of the experience of slavery and the uncertain freedom afterward in the United States. So that's going to be a real delve into the history books and a real education, I feel, in these people that, you know, their stories are very, very, very infrequently recorded. So that was All That She Carried, The Journey of Ashley's Sack, a black family keepsake. So there you go, that's the show today, how to choose must-read books to enjoy this year and into 2022. So if you'd like to find out the full list, see some photos of the covers of the books and links and where you can find out more and buy them, please head over to my website. Go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/best life stories of 2021. I'll have all the links for you for that one in the show notes. And while you're here or while you're over at the website, leave me a comment. Have you got a book that you would like me to, review, look at, put on the show? I'd love to hear about it. So please leave me a comment. And if you have any questions or anything to do with life story writing, it could be planning to write, writing, polishing or publishing a life story, send me an email at foreveryoungautobiographies.com/contact. So I hope this show today has helped you discover, the best books to add to your reading list in the new year, and you start off with a good book and you keep going throughout the next 12 months. Before I go, at the top of the show, I mentioned the Structure Success video training, which is a free training. You can sign up for that one at foreveryoungautobiographies.com/structure success sign up. The link will be in the show notes. This is a training. I go through some exercises with you to come up with some key memories, key events, and then we map out putting all these into a rough chapter outline so you can get writing. This is a great one to do at the start of the year if you're thinking of starting on a new project, or you're revamping something that you've put to the side and you want to get back on track. Give it some structure, can be a real motivator to get going again, get that motivation going. Also, last days for 50% off the Your Family Story system. Go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/deal. You'll find all the information on how to get 50% off this system, which is basically, I break it down on how to initiate and set up an interview with a loved one so you can record their life story. Give them a hand, make it a joint project if you like, so that you can get their memories down before they start to fade. Now, I did this with my grandmother. She was in her 90s at the time. It is doable. You can do this. And I'll give you some free sections if you like, just to have a look. But I highly encourage that you take this opportunity. It's 50% off deal. Go over to the website and check it out. So I'm going to take a bit of a break now for Christmas, New Year, but I will be back in 2022 with more shows to help you with your life story writing. So please follow, subscribe, like the show, share it with a friend. And until then, everyone, have a safe holiday and happy writing.